Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about fasting in relation to weight loss and how it relates to your metabolism. Fasting leads to weight loss, leads to metabolism. That's the theory. If you're interested, definitely stick around. Okay, so let's understand what fasting is first, right? Fasting is, there's many different versions of fasting that people talk about, but the fasting that we're talking about specifically on this channel is going to be intermittent fasting. Fasting for short periods of time, and then when you have times of feeding where you just eat. And there's a reason behind it, right? There's many ways and why we should be doing fasting. It's X, Y, Z, but in reality, your body doesn't need energy all the time. If you are not in an active lifestyle where you're moving around, walking around, then you don't need as much energy as you think you do. Even though society tells you you should be eating at exact times like breakfast, lunch, dinner, it's sort of irrelevant. It's really, what is your energy expenditure? How much energy do you use, and how much energy do you actually need to consume or have within for you to perform that function? So now, does that lead to weight loss? Let's think about it, right? So when you are fasting, let's just say we do the typical 18-6, which I do, 18 hours of fasting, 6 hours of feeding. So let's just say for 18 hours, I don't eat. What happens, right? After a certain amount of hours, your body's gonna be like, hey, this is the normal time that you usually put food into us. And then at that point, you have to decide, like, okay, do I really want to put food at that time? Because you don't technically need it. If you have a little bit of body weight on your body right now, a little bit of overweight, you technically don't need it. But again, we are trained to eat. We've built habits, these deep neural pathways within us to actually go ahead and consume food. But let's just assume you don't. For whatever reason is, you went to a retreat, a meditation retreat, or some sort of like spiritual retreat where you can go ahead and like reset yourself. Let's just say you did that. That's a really good way of thinking about it. You're there right now and you're not going to be consuming any food. So what exactly happens at this point? So then your body's like, okay, we need food, we need fuel. So your body's going to go ahead and shift over, if it does actually, theoretically. If you're just going to be sitting around watching Netflix, then it's a different story. But assuming that you're going to be moving around and your body actually needs energy, your body's going to be searching for other fuel types, fuel sources. The normal ones that we like to use is sugars, obviously. If our body depletes it from their glycogen stores from our livers, then the body has to go something called gluconeogenesis, creating new sugars from whatever the other building materials are. But then the body also can shift over to fat fuel. Fat as fuel. We have to understand that fat as fuel. Why? Because fat itself has so much more energy density than sugars or proteins. Because again, carbon chains. It's always cleaving the carbon chains to get some sort of energy from that. Now, understanding that, can it lead to weight loss? 100%, right? As you can see, if you technically fast and still do physical activity, you will be losing weight. There's no doubt about it. There's plenty of research that indicates this happens. I've applied it to myself. I've applied it to people that I know, that I've worked with, my customers, and it's just a natural reality. Okay, now in relation to your metabolism, we technically talked about metabolism the whole time if you were thinking about it. Fast is one of those core sub-cores of metabolism, right? Feed fast, feed fast. So when you have metabolism at the core, when you break it down, you have feed and you have fast. Fasting is super critical, again, like I said, because we want to burn the excess fuel within you. And we all know what happens, right? When all that extra sugar comes inside your body, it starts spoiling, which causes other problems you don't want to deal with. You do not want to deal with it. Like, for example, gangrenous foot is one of those big ones. If you don't have enough circulation in your limbs, let's just say, and then you don't have enough blood flow and you're not having enough oxygen, and your sugar is just ravaging through that area, always causing an infection, your leg starts becoming green. It is not pretty at all, and it is not fun. But going back to the topic, metabolism itself, movement, metabolism, mindset are the cores of the core M3 protocol from Alpha. And so what you need to understand is when you are fasting and then you are actually going to be losing weight, and as a result of that, your metabolism will naturally be increasing. As we have increased metabolism, we are able to then go ahead and lose the weight that we actually want to lose. So if you found any value in this video and you understood what I was talking about, if you had any questions, definitely go ahead and write in the comments below and I'll be able to respond back to you. With that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.